Oh, hello. No, we didn't lose everyone. People seem they were really, really in it. So
You know what? It's
there you go. Woo! Hello, everyone. Wait it and make sure everyone gets back on. Wait till
sorry, I'm getting like all these beeps and buzzes now. Yeah, I'm sweating too. You know, I'm getting passionate. I'm passionate about my subject matter.
Uncomfortable is good.
You know what? I just, if I may too, like, kudos to you for wanting to open up this kind of platform and having spaces, because I mean there are a lot of people who want to help, who want to assist, who want to help make change, who want to be a part of this revolution, because it is a revolution. I don't know how much, of course my alarm went off. What else could go wrong with actually, let me not say that. Let me not say it. You know, who want to be a part of all this, and they're trying to do their very best. And I recognize that earnestness. I recognize that desire. Mm-hmm. And some people don't feel comfortable being outspoken because maybe they don't have the platform or the position or the wherewithal to do it. And coming to spaces like these where they can listen and be a quietly active participant, I think is really helpful. Because sometimes even hearing the things that Black people say about what is happening, and then realizing that, hey, I've actually said or done this, didn't know it was offensive or didn't realize how hurtful it was, is a step. You know what I mean? So there is that. And the other thing that I've been saying to people is believe Black people. Okay? Yeah. When someone tells you that something happened to them and it happened to them because they are Black, believe them, because a lot of the time, most of the time, it's the truth. And now that we're in this age of technology where we've got receipts, right? I don't do anything with anybody now unless it's via email. And there's an unfortunate personal situation happening where I am now forced to record all of my conversations.
Oh my gosh.
This person is unbelievably toxic and also racist. So yesterday I had a 4-hour saga recording conversations, and sure enough, some BS slipped out of his mouth, and I was like, there it is. I've got receipts. So things happen and people let things slip. And not only believe Black people, but believe Black women, because I read something once that said something like Black men are the most feared in America, and Black women are the most disrespected. And when you think of pay scales, when you think of rape statistics, when you think of domestic violence statistics, you think about workplace statistics, occupational, childbirth, healthcare, anything where stats matter according to race, Black and Indigenous women. And I think the only group that falls under Black women is Indigenous women. We are at the bottom of the totem pole. There are Black women I know who are some of the most educated, the most eloquent, and knowledgeable and competent,
right?
But can't get the VP or director jobs that their acumen is deserving of. You know what I mean? And that's another reason why, if I may do a short shameless plug, which is why I started my resume business. It just started out as a resume writing business, but quickly realizing that I got a lot of clients who looked like me because I had done certain things in my career. So, and one of them was because I could write a pretty damn good resume, but also managed to sort of traverse certain spheres. And they were like, okay, well, if you've done it, you can help me do it too. And I'd have to say about 70 to 80% of my clientele are Black women. And I kind of shied away from it at first because I didn't want to seem exclusionary. Is that a word? Exclusive?
Uh, maybe exclusive.
Okay, yeah. Maybe I didn't want to seem like I wasn't helping all women, right? Like all lives matter. All like there was a struggle with that, but then in doing what I do and brainstorming a few other projects, I realized that no, this is where I need to be. I'm not going to turn down a white woman who wants to do a resume or any other woman, but my focus and my work's intent is to help Black women thrive in the workplace, how to navigate that that glass ceiling, how to navigate the microaggressions, how to win at work as a Black woman, basically. So anything that I can do to help, any connections that I can leverage, any way I can put them in touch, just so that they too have a chance to be great. Because when you know that you are, VP, CEO level brilliance, but people have relegated you to, admin. And there's nothing wrong with admin, but when you know and you want to aspire to so much more, and people say, no, Black girl, here you go. This is where you belong. That takes a toll on your mental health as well, because you start to believe what people, you start to get comfortable with the box that people have put you in. And you know what? Admin jobs, some admin jobs I've worked admin, and it was like, 45,000 a year. It was not bad. It was enough to get by on. I could travel once or twice a year. I was paying my bills. I was paying my rent or whatever, eating once in a while. But it's not enough, right? It's not enough. And realizing that complacency too is a byproduct of discrimination. You get comfortable in where the oppressor has placed you. And that needs to change. There's a whole generation of people, of women, especially in my experience right now with the business. So many women, same age as me, maybe a little younger, maybe a little older, have been doing the same thing for the last 10, 15 years. It was comfortable, but they stopped applying for promotions because nobody was giving them one. They're like, well, Mr. Chalmers is paying me and he gives me 2 weeks vacation. So better than a kick in the ass. No, Black girl, you are destined for so much more. And it is 2020 has ripped the roof off a lot of people's belief systems and a lot of people's comfort zones and a lot of people's realities. And welcome to it. Adapt or die, because really, I had a conversation with a friend and she's like, I don't like the way they're commodifying Black Lives Matter or Black people right now. Right now we're trending. I said, so you know what you do with the trend? You take it and you run with it. Who gives a F if we're trending right now? Get your money's worth out of this trend. Black women are hot. You know what? Let's go. My business caters to Black women. Let's do it. Because you know what? We may never get this chance again, or something else may happen that will derail this upward tick. And however small the blip is on the radar, we'll see. But right now, I think it is a call to action for everyone,
Yes.
corporations, everyone, to look at the mental health, the corporate health, their cultures and their spaces and their D&I boards and all that stuff, and realize that is bullshit. And I'm sorry, that's like, I can't even censor myself on that one. And you want to talk about Black Lives Matter and helping people, get somebody in your leadership who looks like me. Get somebody in senior management who looks like me. When you have these D&I boards, instead of having a bunch of people who don't look like me talking about what they can do to come together to battle this, you know what? Ask the girl that you've kept in admin for 15 years. Ask her what it's like to be a Black person in your very inclusive and diverse organization. I worked at, I'm going to say it now. I worked at Reader's Digest in Montreal for 2.5 years. I think I spotted 4 Black people. 4. I was friends with 2 of them. And I remember Montreal's a completely different experience, reality in itself. And as an aside, I remember somebody asked me once if I'd ever lived in another country. And I almost said Montreal, and I had to draw it back. I was like, no, still part of Canada, because living in Montreal was like my experience when I stayed in Italy. Attitudes, racism, all of that. But sorry, I went off on a tangent. I can't remember what I was going to say now. But you know, be this time is meant for us to be uncomfortable because changes need to be made.
Yes.
And whether they're personal changes, organizational changes, they need to be done. And it's not easy. It's not easy. You know, John Stewart said, if you're tired of talking about racism, imagine how Black people feel living it every day. Sorry, white folk, we're not here to make you comfortable. We're not here to do your work, the work for you. You know, I get a lot of questions about, well, what can we do? Google it. Because so many other people before you have looked for those same questions, the answers to those same questions. And now there are pages and pages and pages worth of organizations and documents and how-tos and links to books and seminars and behavioral trainings and all of those things that if you really want to be the better person in this world, there's access to it. Black people are not here to do the work for you anymore. And understand that we're angry, we're tired, and it takes a toll. It strains our relationships, it strains everything. But there's no growth without discomfort. There's no growth without change. So
yeah.
I'm off my soapbox now.
Down.
Yeah, it's funny how everything has become so intrinsically linked, you know. And when we're doing the unpacking, you realize how everything is connected. And I welcome the opportunity to have these kind of discussions, especially on such a large and public platform, because people not only learn what they're taught, people learn what they absorb. So even if it's by observation, maybe something I've said or something you've said has resonated, and they've gone, I didn't think of it that way. Or maybe I might have used a term or said something that people weren't aware of, and they can go look it up. And this is where it starts. I'm riding this trend right now because maybe I can't write it out, but maybe I can speak it out.
Yeah, you changed my world. Rock my world, man. Yeah, like I think it's really important to have these conversations because it's going to change our perspective. We are going to intrinsically learn about what other people are feeling and start to change our behaviors. And I think that the Black community deserves that. We all deserve to be heard and to be listened to. And I am going to try and be better, and hopefully everyone listening to this live session will think differently about how they act. And now I forget where I'm going with this. Amazing but why don't we end it with that? If anyone has any questions, I think we've really covered all of the questions that I had. I mean, if no one has any questions, maybe Joanne, any last words to the world that you say?
Ooh, no pressure. You know what? I think I said it fairly succinctly. Believe Black people. Accept the fact that we all have prejudices. I think that's the first step to, you know, and the term right now is dismantling racism, dismantling systemic inequality. That's the first step. Admit that you have your prejudices. That's okay.
Hashtag that.
Right? It's okay. We all have it.
Yes.
Um, Stop saying things like, I don't see color, because you will get stabbed. Stop saying it, because it's not true. Because if I walk into a room, how you're going to describe me, if there are 5 girls in a black dress, you're not going to go, well, that girl in the black dress. You're not going to kill yourself to describe me by what I'm wearing or what my hair is doing. You're going to say the black girl in the black dress. It's okay. I'm black every day. I'm good with it. Capital B black, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
Capital B. Um, Listen, even when it makes you uncomfortable, even when you feel attacked, and when you are feeling attacked, where is that coming from? Why are you feeling attacked? Are they talking about you? Usually when people feel attacked, it's because there's something within them. The words that people say are resonating. Not me. Not all people are like this. Not all white people. Not whatever. Listen. Because the conversation really isn't about you. Listen. And believe the stories. And be an ally. If you're going to be an ally, you are going to lose friends. If you're going to be an ally, you may lose favor. If you really want to do the work, then you're going to have to lose friends and opportunities. But the payoff is so much greater. And I've seen it already in certain organizations and certain things that they're doing. You know, I'm never going to shop here again. That's fine. And then you get an influx of like 600 new Black customers because you spoke up for the cause and you believed Black people's stories and you supported what they said. You know? So there is a trade-off, but get ready to be uncomfortable. Black people are uncomfortable every day, so we don't have any sympathy for you right now. We're just kind of looking at y'all going, ooh, child, you awkward. Right? But hey.
It has to happen this way. So I'm getting ready to, I am. So
good. And you know what? If there are people out there who have friends that they can talk to, and I always invite you and, you know, a couple of my other white friends, non-Black friends, if you got questions, ask me. Because I'm one of the people who is willing to talk to the people I know. I don't want to be the platform for like some random stranger on a bus or, you know, during a customer service call going, so how does it feel to be Black? Like that's that's not what it is. But and if you can, have the conversations, but just be kind. God, be kind, be empathetic, listen, believe the stories, and help where you can. I think that's it. That's it. Yeah. That's it. Yeah.
I want to sincerely thank you for making me very uncomfortable today. But hey, I welcome it. I think I actually like making myself uncomfortable and talking about uncomfortable.
It is growth. It's all growth.
Oh,
And
but those times when I have felt uncomfortable at any point in my life, I have grown and I've learned something and I've changed my behavior or done something to something positive. So, and being uncomfortable, being vulnerable is right now, and kind of owning up to your actions and yeah, be vulnerable, people. There's no shame in that. There's no shame in admitting your faults, talking about what you're going through, talking about any mental issues you're going through, because like it's just going to bring everyone closer together.
exactly that. I think people are greatly relieved to hear that other people are going through the same thing. And whether it's, you know, matters on race or whether it's matters of mental health. You know, one of the things that I realized is when I started talking about mental health, it made some of my friends feel more comfortable to talk about. Bye, Zaina. Bye, Zaina. It made other people more comfortable to talk about it, you know. And one of the things I wanted to say too, when we just, if I may just go back to mental health for a second, like the other thing too is there's stigma around medicating. There's a stigma around things like marijuana, and now medical marijuana is legal, which is ironic because people often assume Black people marijuana. You know, they have that assumption that, you know, dreadlock, weed, all those weird and media forced sort of stereotypes to a certain degree. But I know with my my background, my parents being from Barbados, um, Rastafarianism was almost like a subculture and like very frowned upon. So even now as adults, I have friends who are now kind of whispering the word and asking me very quietly, because I take one of the things that I don't like. I have been on clonazepam before to aid with my mood and well-being. It was good until it wasn't. Like when it was working, it was like but it quickly stopped working, and the crash is harder to deal with than the day-to-day dealings with, you know, mood swings and anxiety without being medicated. So I didn't want to go that route again. I didn't want to go on mood inhibitors or any of that stuff. And then almost out of desperation, I turned to CBD oil and THC. So edibles are really my friend, and
A
it's got
little bit. I think I need to try again those edibles.
call me. We'll talk about it honestly. And that's the other thing. If anybody has any questions about edibles, they want to ask me about anything, I can definitely tell them about my experience and some of the things that I do and the brands that I like. Because there is a lot of stuff out there, and it's really hard to navigate to know what you're getting into, what you're picking. So I definitely have made a decision to go the edible route, and it has worked wonderfully for me. So there's also that. But anyway, I'm done.
Um, I really don't want to stop this conversation. I could go on forever. Maybe not forever, but
I know you, girl. You can talk for a long, long time.
but I know everyone possibly has things going on. But what we'll do is I'm going to put this up on Instagram, IGTV, and you can view this later. And then also, if you want to learn more, just sign up for the soul sessions, and you can hear Joanne laugh.
Yay!
And what she's gone through, and turning into this amazing woman that she is today. So if anyone has any questions about the soul sessions, please DM me, or you can visit my website. We have lots of great speakers, including Joanne. And we will see you guys all next week on Tuesday. Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye, Erin. We will talk soon. Bye.